as I am, 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 as I am. Told your mother I wasn't ready for a baby child. Said I ain't got myself together, I'm free and I'm running wild. She waited around, said she only wanted me. Said I would be a good father, raise a happy little family. I never knew how much love I had inside till the day we met. And I heard your cries, but then I held you in my arms. You deep down inside, that you make my heart smile, bring joy to my life. I say you make my heart smile, bring joy to my life. I said you make my heart smile, bring joy to my life. I said you make my heart smile, bring joy, boy, yeah. You bring joy all the time. We're trick-or-treating with your cousins on Halloween. Saw all the babies laughing and smiling, and I knew that I was finally ready helped your mother's hand, and on the car ride home, I said, now don't you think it's high time that we have one of our own? Never knew how much love I had inside till the day we met, and I heard your cries, but then I held you in my arms. You deep down inside that you make my heart smile. You bring joy to my life. I said you make my heart smile. You bring joy to my life. I said you make my heart smile. You bring joy to my life. I said you make my heart smile. Bring joy for you. You bring joy for all the time. You bring joy to my life. Bring joy to my life. You bring joy to my life. Bring joy to my life. Bring joy. I say you bring joy. You bring joy. You bring joy to my life.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Michaela, for singing the national anthem. And good evening, everyone. I'm Katherin Elam, President of Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia. I invite you to celebrate with us 30 years of the biggest night in business. Tonight, we'll be broadcasting from two locations, the Penthouse at the Center in the Square, managed by Caroline LaRocca, and the lovely Hotel Roanoke, where I will be with student Jerel Rhodes from Northside High School. Approximately 5,000 JA students annually, like Jerel, are learning the importance of economic mobility, workplace readiness, and innovation. JA and the Business Hall of Fame are in the inspiration business and opening doors for our youth. So tonight, I know, Jerel, I would like you to tell us what you have found to be an inspiration to you in terms of determining a career.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I am Jerel Rhodes II. And a career that I have found throughout this pandemic that I like on a daily basis is videography and editing. I recently started doing it. When I was in middle school, I would edit my own football highlights, and over time it took over me, and I like sports and I like editing, so I've started to do videos for other athletes.
Great. Well, one of the things I know is that you are also smart enough to probably come up with a couple plans that you're going to do. And more than anything else, we want you to stay tuned to hear more about Jerel's plans. And also, for all of you viewers, there's an opportunity for you to participate as you view the festivities tonight. And you have the possibility of winning a head of the class basket or Mikimoto pearl stud earrings. So just follow the link in the video description, and it will be posted in the chat as well. The winners will be pulled at the end of the show. So we'll come back later with Jerel and I as we turn our attention to those who are heading up the remarks and awards presentation.
Good evening. I'd just like to welcome you all to the 30th Annual Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia Business Hall of Fame. I'm Autumn Visser. I'm a principal at Woods Rogers, and I have the distinct opportunity to serve as chairperson of this event. On behalf of the staff of Junior Achievement, the Board of Directors, and my fellow members of the Planning Committee, we would like to thank American National Bank and Trust, this evening's presenting sponsor. Junior Achievement would not be able to fulfill its mission of empowering young people to own their economic success without support from American National Bank and Trust Company and our other generous sponsors, which are Commonwealth Care of Roanoke is a Laureate sponsor this evening. Our Entrepreneur of the Year sponsors are Carillion Clinic, Leon Harris, KPMG and Doug McQuaid, Truist, Wells Fargo, and Woods Rogers. Our summa cum laude sponsors this evening are Atlantic Union Bank, Boxley, Branch Group, Grand Home Furnishings, Marsh, T-Mike, and Wessex Capital Investments. And our magna cum laude sponsors this evening are Allstate Insurance Company, Pinnacle Bank, Radiant Physics, Michael Fleming, Virginia Tech Foundation, and WFXR. Please join me in thanking American National Bank and all of our sponsors this evening. During the past 29 Business Hall of Fame events, we would all be enjoying delicious food and the beautiful ambiance of the Hotel Roanoke. And while we cannot join together physically this evening, our event has even been delayed by 5 months. We are thankful that each and every one of you has joined us to continue our Business Hall of Fame tradition. It has taken months of planning and learning about new technologies to bring our event to you this evening. But just as our students have had to attend school differently this year and face all of the challenges that come along with that, we too shall persevere and celebrate remotely. This evening, we are joining together to induct one laureate, Deborah Petrine, into the Business Hall of Fame and honor the Entrepreneur of the Year, Kevin Bloomfield. Our honored guests this evening have had incredible success in their areas of expertise and have contributed to the growth and development of Southwest Virginia in very unique ways. I'm excited for you to hear each of their stories this evening. Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia has had to pivot many times this year. The traditional format for achieving our mission, sending volunteers into schools to teach our young people face-to-face, oftentimes on the ground, playing games and doing all of that fun stuff, didn't work. Our volunteers now pre-record their lessons or provide live lessons via Zoom or other technology. Our career fair will be held in a virtual format this year. Job shadowing has been difficult, if not impossible, and giving has been down. Despite all of these challenges, Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia is committed to the young people of our region. We will continue to show up in schools to educate our young people about entrepreneurship, workplace readiness, and owning their financial success. To achieve this goal, we need you. Our past laureates have kicked us off this evening by contributing $15,000. Let's thank them for their contributions. Our lofty goal is to match them this evening. We hope that after being inspired by our honorees and our students, you will understand the impact of financial literacy in our region and help us reach our goal by giving generously. Speaking of generous giving this evening, this evening would not be possible again without American National Bank. Please welcome Eddie Martin to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Autumn, and good evening, everyone. As Autumn said, I'm Eddie Martin, and I'm Chief Administrative Officer and President of Virginia Banking for American National Bank and Trust Company, and we're such a proud sponsor of the Junior Achievement and of this event, the 30th Annual Southwest Virginia Business Hall of Fame. I'm so glad this event was able to pick back up after not quite a year, 5 or 6 months off. And while not fully in person, it's nice to be able to hold this event so we can recognize current leaders in our community as we also raise money to support our leaders of the future. These are the 2 reasons we love this event, and we value our partnership with Junior Achievement. Its mission to inspire and prepare young people to succeed is so critical to not only the youth we serve, but our community as a whole. Junior Achievement's lessons in financial literacy, work and career readiness, and entrepreneurship are shown to positively impact the lives of young people. And as a banker, I can tell you that these lessons cannot be taught enough or early enough. These lessons give people of all backgrounds the opportunity to do things that our Laureate and Entrepreneur of the Year have already done and continue to do, which is the second reason we like to support the biggest night in business. Our community is forever changed for the better when there are strong community-minded leaders like Debbie Petrine and Kevin Bloomfield in it. So on behalf of everyone at American National Bank, I would like to congratulate both of you for this well-deserved recognition. Kevin is Entrepreneur of the Year, and Debbie, who I have known and respected for many years, for your induction into the Business Hall of Fame. And for everyone watching, I would urge you to look at the work that Junior Achievement does and get involved, either through a financial gift or, just as important, a commitment of your time and talents, so we can have a community full of Debbie Petrines and Kevin Bloomfields. And with that, I'm happy to welcome a future leader to the stage, Junior Achievement student entrepreneur Joshua.
Hello, my name is Joshua Elliott, and I'm in the 2nd grade at Noah Christian Academy. I have a close family: my dad, my mom, my sister, brother, and my dog Masego. I was asked to share with you the things I have been doing over the last 2 years. I have been told that I have a big heart, and I'm always asking questions about how things operate and how to make things better. Last spring, my peers and I were given an assignment in school to create a business like many Junior Achievement programs that help students understand our roles of citizen, customer, and worker. During past career weeks at my school, I heard a few adults share how running a business requires a lot of work. I've also watched my mom, who is a business owner, and I wanted to give it a try. Let me share with you my business plan and the results. Like a lot of kids, I wanted to operate a lemonade stand. A year before, I asked my mom to help me sell lemonade. The school project was my chance to get started. I figured out the cost of all my supplies and equipment, found investors, and created my own commercial. I had to find a place to operate my stand and created signs to promote Jay's Lemon Squeeze. Once I had my plan in order, my parents released my hours of operation and my mission on social media. My goal was to make $1,500 over the summer to consider my business successful. The sole purpose for my lemonade stand was to help feed the homeless. If I reached my $1,500 goal, that meant I could help the homeless while also putting money in my savings account. I kept seeing people on the corners with signs and people wandering on the streets asking for help. I saw my parents giving them money, and I too wanted to help. I would often ask how people became homeless, and my parents would explain that it can happen through no fault of their own, and that it could be any of us, and how kindness of strangers could make a difference. Well, in just 2 lemonade sales, I exceeded my $1,500 goal. I worked with my family to put together blessing bags for the homeless. That included water, turkey, sandwiches, healthy snacks, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and a Bible passage. My family packed up everything and went downtown, opened up the hatchback of our car, and gave away 65 bags the first time and 50 bags the second time. It really felt good to be able to help others. I still had enough money to put in my savings account as I learned the lesson to always pay yourself first. Running a seasonal business taught me a lot of great lessons. Like other kids my age, I make time for drawing, writing, and making my own books. Playing football, having fun, creating videos for my YouTube channel. Spending time with my family and keeping up with the newest member of our family, my bulldog Masego. I named Masego after a Jamaican jazz artist I like. Masego means blessings, and he's been a blessing to our family. Masego is now a year old and came to our family just before the pandemic. As a result, we have had a lot of time together. The fun times I've had with Masego have been illustrated and is going to be in my children's book that releases at the end of April. The name of the book is A Boy and His Dog, Adventures of Joshua and Masego. My mom is an author of 3 books, and like her, I have fun with creating and wanted to give it a try. My mom called her publisher, and they were more than happy to publish my book. This book shares the fun adventures Masego and I had last summer. I know that I have had a lot of fun and learned a lot about working with people and earning money. I'm excited to become President of the United States when I grow up. Tonight I am looking forward to hearing about the success and tips each of the honorees have to offer for a young entrepreneur like me. Thank you for letting me share my story, and don't forget to...
Please welcome tonight's presentation of What I Want to Do
When I Grow Up.
When I grow up.
I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck.
I don't want to cry when paying the bills.
When I grow up.
I don't want to be turned down for a business loan.
I don't want to borrow a lot for an education.
And then not know what to do with it.
When I grow up, I don't want to be paid less.
Told I'm underqualified.
Or overqualified.
When I grow up.
When I grow up.
I want to know how to save for my future. Find a job I like.
And start my own business.
When I grow up.
I want to know how to provide for my family.
And invest in my community. And make a difference.
When I grow up.
When I grow up.
When I grow up.
When I grow up. I just want things to be different.
At Junior Achievement, We promote economic empowerment through education, but we can't do it alone.
I'm a puzzle that he's trying to solve. A mystery girl that no one knows it all. And today he said to me, girl in the yellow sweater, turn around for me. Girl in the yellow sweater, you're so unknown to me. Falling in love with a stranger seems an impossible task, but he says he's falling for me. And he says he's falling.
Tomorrow will be a better day. A day for making new friends. Standing ovation.
We're next.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, Joshua, that was amazing. And I can tell you that I am first in line for an autographed copy of the book for my grandson Luke, and I just can't wait to get.
Well, hopefully most of you realize what it is to have young people involved in our community and running businesses. It takes a lot of people to help our children make decisions. And today, I'd like to ask Jerel II, who has been a mentor to you?
I've had many mentors in my life, from my own father to my football coaches, as well as teachers, and also people that are in my church family. They've all helped me in different ways, and I've been able to pull different life lessons and allow them to make me into a better person.
All right. Well, continue to hold on to those people because they'll help you make a lot of great changes. And JA is, of course, an outgrowth of the business community, and it continues to create a bridge from the classroom to the workplace, ensuring economic well-being of our region. And we want all of you again to remember to follow the link in the video description, and it will be posted in the chat. Our winners will be pulled at the end of the show that will allow you to be able to get baskets of great goods as well as Mickey Moto pearl stud earrings. So we're going to now turn our program back over to John Carlin, who is our MC.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, Joshua, that was amazing. And I can tell you that I am first in line for an autographed copy of the book for my grandson Luke, and I just can't wait to get my hands on it and share it with him. And I know that you'll be standing up here one day receiving an award. I just know it in my heart. My name is John Carlin. I hope you already know that. This is a small group tonight, and I've pretty much met everybody here, but I'm the news anchor for WSLS 10, and on behalf of everybody at the station, I want to welcome you all here tonight. This is an honor for me to MC the biggest night in business. I know a little bit about what it feels like because I have had the chance now to profile and to MC this event for 30 years. So to put that in perspective, I was talking with Lindsay Ward, who was my co-anchor for the evening newscasts, and I told her this was my 30th here, and she said, "Oh, I was 7 when you started." I thought, well, that is, I was 10, right. That puts it in perspective. But if you can imagine back in 1990, I'm staying on the script here, when I hosted the first Business Hall of Fame, the business landscape in Southwest Virginia had a very different look, and I mean, it really did. Roanoke has changed so much. Once thriving corporate headquarters were here. Retail stores in the region that we have given away now to our downtown living, our multiple residences. Research centers have replaced the factories that we had. And of course, technology, once reserved for commercial use, has permeated our daily existence, making the world smaller. And even in the world of television, I've had, as I mentioned, my co-anchors, I've had many over the 30 years. And we've made the change from analog to digital. We all expect that high definition quality and streaming services will eventually change everything, including the way that we present the news. And we're even working on some new ways to do that I'm not at liberty to reveal yet. But technology is going to change the way that we know that the way you consume the news is changing, and the way we deliver the news is changing. Gathering the news is going to be the same as it always was, but the delivery systems will continue to evolve and change, and we want to make sure that you can find the news where and when you want it. So and we'll still be there with the 6 o'clock newscast, but there will be some other changes as well coming up. Excuse me. So virtual reality, coding, and STEM subjects are now being offered in the schools, which is important. I know, Kevin, that resonates with you. They're starting in 4th grade now. The pandemic has made us very dependent on internet searches, Zoom meetings, and virtual classrooms for students of all ages. And we, I think, feel smarter and more connected now. A good example is the increased use of drones for deliveries, aerial photos for real estate, as well as locating people who are lost with the drones. Many of us have a couple of new members in our household. They're named Alexa and Ring, or Siri, and we all know them quite well, right? And they're there for our security and for our memory and to help us to accomplish tasks. So during the pandemic, we have experienced the power of innovators and entrepreneurs in multiple startups, the mass production of face masks, hand sanitizers, and how about the folks down in Franklin County that pivoted from making legal moonshine to hand sanitizers, right? I mean, that was great, and we recently did a story where they've stopped with the hand sanitizers because the bigger markets caught up. But good for them to see an opportunity and to find a way to keep things going. So I just thought that was one of the coolest things in the pandemic. Food packaging, shield guards, and of course the COVID vaccinations. I've had both of mine now. Kevin, I know you've had yours. Who's all had their shots? So it's catching up, and I hope that that people are shying away from it for whatever reason. We'll see that that's the best thing for all of us, and that you'll go and get vaccinated, and more shots are becoming available. That's great. So for every major event in our nation, there are new entrepreneurs arising and flourishing to provide wonderful services and goods, and we've addressed that a little bit. Now, what I love about Junior Achievement is how we all work together to empower all of our young people to better their worlds. Joshua is a great example of that, and to their own economic success. So I am honored tonight to have this virtual Business Hall of Fame celebration to capture 30 years of the region's dynamic business leaders. Now,
I'm always stuck inside my room. I think my laptop is laughing. I have too many tennis shoes, and I watch movies that are sappy. I never know quite what to do. I make up stories and start acting. I use these songs to get me through. Sometimes the whole world gets distracting. And if you haven't left the house in months and don't know what to do, and you're bad at having conversations, me too. Me too. Me too. Me too.
Your smile, your laugh, the dimples on your cheeks, and the way you look at me, it's on repeat. You're constantly on my mind, I think about you all the time. I want to hold you, but instead I'm holding on to the thought of you. I want to hold you, but instead I'm holding on to the thought of you. The thought of you. When I see you in the hallway, and I feel you begin to
Now, as we move on, past laureates and entrepreneurs inducted into the Hall of Fame have appeared on your screens and monitors this evening, representing everything from railroads, hotels, auto parts stores, men's clothing, healthcare, library automation, banking, and finance. And in the group we have seen, we want to take a moment to share our condolences tonight with the families of Jack Lanford and T.A. Carter, past laureates who have passed away since our last Business Hall of Fame. Both men created new highways, bridges, and even shopping malls that lent to the region's economy and continue to bolster the economy, but they started some 40 years ago. If we could just take a moment of silence for Jack Lanford and T.A. Carter, please. Thank you very much. And their combined community impact will be in place, obviously, for generations to come, and it has been so wonderful to have had them be a part of this ceremony and to acknowledge their accomplishments over the past years. Tonight, we have the 7th year that Junior Achievement has recognized innovative entrepreneurs. This award acknowledges a business person based in the NRV or the Roanoke Valley who is C-suite quality, certainly, and each entrepreneur continues to inspire Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Got to start using that term, Gen Alpha. And the 2020 Entrepreneur of the Year is Kevin Bloomfield. Kevin has truly embraced innovation, the joy of combining creative freedom and technology and establishing his company. Growing up in the region, he gained his business knowledge through his studies and great mentors, namely his father, who is also here with us tonight, and his business partner. Kevin's success can be attributed to tenacity, and I sat down with Kevin for 2 hours, and we talked about how he had an idea, and he wasn't going to stop until he got it right, and he swung and missed a few times, and he gladly and freely admits that. And your visit with Delta, I don't know how you had the guts and the courage to do that the way you did. You'll hear more about that tonight. But at this time, I'd like to have you turn your attention to the monitor, and we'll just take 2 minutes now to learn a little bit more about Kevin's success.
I thought I was going to play college basketball.
Kevin Bloomfield had high expectations, and while the basketball dream didn't pan out, he exceeded that initial dream. He tried to launch several technology ideas and failed, including a pitch he once made to Delta Airlines.
We're in this meeting, we had our brand new suits on and shiny shoes, and we're eager to talk about how successful we were going to be and they were going to be with our technology.
But then Delta found out he had no company to back the idea.
Within 15 minutes, let's call it, the meeting wound down much more abruptly than we had anticipated.
At his father's suggestion, he settled for an opportunity to help YMCAs develop operations software.
I knew instinctively that no one was going to make me $1 billion market value around YMCAs.
But 8 years later, he'd grown that company, Net Ventures, to 58 employees serving 250 organizations.
We ended up processing $2.5 billion of YMCA transactions through our financial network.
Then, one day, he tells me, he got an offer he couldn't refuse.
One day I was going for a run on the Greenway, and I never answer my cell phone if I don't know who you are. And I see the number, I don't know why I stopped and picked it up, and it was a partner to a private equity firm that owned a majority interest in our biggest competitor. And within 2 minutes, he dropped a number on me.
4 months later, he had sold Net Ventures, and his big dreams had come true. Now he's helping develop the business accelerator called RAMP in downtown Roanoke, bringing together angel investors and startup companies so they and Roanoke can succeed.
You need access to mentors, you need some basic programming, and you need access to capital. And if you do those three things and then all the other things around those three things, then you have a chance to be successful.
And there you go. So please join me now in welcoming and recognizing Kevin Bloomfield, the Entrepreneur of the Year. Kevin.
Don't want to knock over the flower.
Thank you, John. That's very, very nice. I enjoyed spending a couple hours with you, and although John and I had collided a couple times in the past, I enjoyed getting to know you more. And I'd like to thank Katherin and the JA staff and the board for this award and for all that you do for this impactful organization. And congratulations to you, Debbie, as well. Being a successful entrepreneur takes a great deal of hard work, focus, determination, and a tremendous amount of tenacity. But more than anything, I think having people around you who support you in the good times and the bad is what is most important. Tonight, I'm joined by my most important circle of supporters, my family. Success isn't achieved alone. And I'd like to specifically thank my beautiful wife, Allison. Thank you for your support, your love, and for always believing in me. I'm also lucky to be joined tonight by my 4 wonderful children and my 2 vaccinated parents. That's important. And I'd be remiss, as John mentioned, if I didn't point out my father. And I have no doubt that much of my success is because of his advice, guidance, and support. Thank you. So believe me when I say that no amount of financial success can trump being surrounded by people that love, trust, and support you. Thanks to you all for joining me tonight. So now I'd like to talk about the really important stuff, which is talking to the young people who do participate in the Junior Achievement Organization. I often get asked by students or young entrepreneurs about the recipe for becoming successful. And while I do believe that diligence, humility, focus, and timing all play important roles, I actually don't believe there's one recipe for becoming successful. Listen closely to me. Each and every one of you have a chance to become successful. If you commit to a dream. You don't believe me? Well, I am living proof that you can dramatically change your trajectory in life if you set your mind to it and you don't lose faith in yourself. See, you are looking at a man that when I was young, nobody would have predicted my success. I had many decks stacked against me, but I didn't let that stop me from tirelessly working to drive myself to personal and business success. So tonight I'd like to share with you just a few things that I learned along the way. First, don't be afraid to dream big and be willing to pursue your dreams tirelessly. Now, to be clear,
Your path always won't be straight and smooth. Rather, your journey will be bumpy. Sometimes things will go well, and sometimes you will hit obstacles and things will seem unsure. Prepare yourself to stay focused, yet flexible. You will surely need to pivot and adjust as new circumstances arise. Secondly, I think it's valuable to highlight the importance of failure. Now, I know it's normal to watch an exciting event like tonight, see awards being handed out, and think, wow, that Entrepreneur of the Year, he must have had all the answers and did everything well on his way toward success. But I'm here to tell you reality. My early entrepreneurial career was littered with failures and disappointments, as John nicely pointed out. In spite of those, I never wavered or doubted my dreams. In fact, as I reflect back, I now understand that my failures actually were critical to my future success. And guess what? I continue to periodically fail today, whether it's with a poor investment decision, a new idea I have for one of my portfolio companies, or even sometimes just from dealing with employees. The truth is that you learn much more from your failures than you do from your successes, although it doesn't feel nearly as good. Failure gives you the opportunity to learn and grow, and it gives you a chance to try a different approach. So don't fear failure, and don't let it cause you to fall off your path. Every single person that you deem to be successful has failed and experienced failure. It will be how you deal with your failure which will help to define your success. Thirdly, I would also like to suggest that you focus on things that are within your control and don't dwell on things that you can't change. As a young person, I used to fret about my situation in life, why I didn't have this or that, why I wasn't as equipped as the person next to me. But I learned that the only way that I would be successful is if I focused on the things that I could control, rather than waste time and energy on things that I couldn't. Fourth, I want you to know that your success is not just important to you, but it's also important to people in our region. Our ecosystem is full of thoughtful, caring people who want to help one another. Many are quick to lend a hand, offer a suggestion, or mentor you through a situation that you may be experiencing. Way too many times in my early career, I didn't ask for help or seek guidance because I was too worried that if I approached a successful person, they would quickly see how ill-prepared I was to succeed. Now I see how silly that concern was, and that I wish I would have asked for guidance earlier in my career. I know it can be intimidating to ask for help, but if you don't ask, you never have a chance to be impacted by someone who can help guide you forward. Lastly, I'm a firm believer in good old simple hard work. I know each of you have heard it before from your teachers, parents, coaches, and mentors, but being willing to outwork others, be it your competition, your peers, or sometimes even your own instincts, is one of the great indicators of future success. Know that for you to reach your goals, you will be needing to roll up your sleeves and have the self-discipline to put in an incredible amount of work, oftentimes when no one is looking. Let me end by sharing with you a simple quote that I recently read. This is from Sam Ewing, who was a professional baseball player in the 1970s. Sam said, "Hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all." So I urge you to get up every morning, being willing to roll up your sleeves, work hard, and you can surely achieve your future success. Thank you again for this award. Thank you.
And Kevin, you didn't mention it, but what you're doing over there at RAMP, helping entrepreneurs come together, I think is very important. You've got a group of angel investors who are looking for people who want to replicate what you've done. They've got the money to put behind an idea that looks like it has merit, and then hopefully will become established in Roanoke and help our local economy as well. And I just want to thank you for that as well. One more round of applause. And the time has come to now salute this year's inductee into the Hall of Fame. And Debbie Petrine is our laureate, and we're going to watch a video and learn a little bit more about her.
Deborah Debbie Petrine, a woman who parlayed an amazing skill as a typist into the highest leadership roles in healthcare and higher education. Debbie Petrine was born in the Glenver-Fort Lewis area of Roanoke County. Her mother, Dorothy, was a hard-working homemaker, and her father worked for Norfolk Southern until he retired and started a second career as the owner-operator of a gas station and repair shop on Route 460. Debbie attended Fort Lewis Elementary School and later Glenver High School. The first year, Glenver had a senior class. In order to be a majorette, she had to play in the band, so she took up clarinet. But cheerleading called, and she joined the squad, eventually becoming captain. She was also a member of the yearbook staff and traded study halls for a job in the school office, where she perfected her typing skills. Her poise and focus led to a selection on the Miller & Rhodes department store teen board, where she represented the school and modeled clothes in the store's tea room. To earn money for college, she landed a part-time job at a John Deere dealer, where those typing skills came in handy. She could type as fast as some people took shorthand. Debbie started her college career at Virginia Western Community College before eventually landing at Virginia Tech, graduating as a Hokie in 1978. With money tight in college, the manager at John Deere pointed her in the direction of a customer in the healthcare business at Heritage Hall, what she calls her first real job. And for the next 20 years, it would be that as she grew from receptionist to administrator. Along the way, she would fill many roles. Debbie's talent was recognized by the chair of the company, who approached her in February of 1987 to offer the position of COO president, which she accepted. Debbie's vast knowledge of certificates of need required to build senior care facilities led to many new opportunities in a field that is among the most regulated in the country. After 20 years at Heritage Hall, that drive and knowledge led to an opportunity with real estate developer James R. Jim Smith. As a team, Jim provided funding and development acumen for new facilities, while Debbie brought her knowledge of operations to the table. An early challenge was a facility in Richmond that had lost its Medicare and Medicaid funding. Debbie fixed the problems, returned the facility to standard, and jump-started the business. From there, Jim and Debbie replaced many older facilities with new policies and procedures and grew the company in a 5-year span to 14 facilities in Virginia and a managed facility in North Carolina. While her business was growing, so was her personal life. She had married Jim Petrine, whom she met in college. Jim, with his engineering degree from Virginia Tech, started out working for Columbia Gas in Ohio and later for VEPCO, working on the pump storage project in Bath County. He would eventually start his own construction business at Smith Mountain Lake. Debbie and Jim welcomed daughter Megan Rochelle in 1986 and son James Bradford in 1989. In 2001, Debbie, Jim, and 3 partners began a new venture, CCR, or Commonwealth Care of Roanoke. Her vision was to build facilities that incorporate the name of the locale with a local feel, and the new building's culture and design would lend to making a positive difference for the residents and patients. They built the first skilled nursing facility in Pennington Gap in Lee County. They followed up with 2 more centers in Radford and Clifton Forge. Eventually, they built 12 centers stretching from northern Virginia to the far southwestern portion of the Commonwealth. CCR became a leader in senior care with the use of telehealth, telemedicine. The company participated in gerontology research studies through Virginia Tech and Radford University, evaluating the impact of light on people with dementia or Alzheimer's disease. They also work to gain a better understanding about why health is compromised from taking a fall and how to prevent falls before they happen. In 2010, she added a new responsibility to her already full schedule at CCR, serving as president of Longleaf Senior Living, LLC in North Carolina. All this hard work did not go unnoticed, and Debbie found herself rewarded with leadership roles and many awards for service. She's been a member of and chair of the advisory board for the management department at the Pamplin School of Business at Virginia Tech. She also served as chair and member on the advisory board for the Virginia Tech Center for Gerontology and on the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine advisory board. In 2011, Petrine received the Pamplin Distinguished Alumni Award, the same year the governor appointed her to the Board of Visitors. In that role, she was part of the presidential search committee that selected Dr. Tim Sands. Petrine was named rector in Sands' first year, and she remembers how they served their rookie years together. She says she was honored to be chosen by her peers to lead the board. Debbie's business expertise led her to serve on and chair the board's finance and audit committees. She also served as the board liaison with the School of Medicine as it was integrated as a college at Virginia Tech. Debbie received the Virginia Healthcare Association's James G. Dutton Award for Lifetime Achievement in the long-term care field. Debbie's acumen in business led to an appointment to serve on the charter board of the Go Virginia Region 2 board, tasked with attracting investors and startups to the region. In the spring of 2019, Debbie received the Distinguished Alumni Award from the Virginia Western Community College Foundation. She serves as the vice chair on the VWCC Educational Foundation Board and chair of the Virginia Western Forward Endowment Fund. In addition to her work in higher ed and healthcare, Debbie serves on the board of Feeding Southwest Virginia. She thanks the many mentors who have helped her achieve so much in life, including Pete Plunkett and Kelly Surface back at that John Deere dealership. She mentions Joan Mumford and Dick Frizzell, the owners of HCMF, as well as Lucy Walford, Director of Nursing at Heritage Hall, who helped her understand life, business, and caring for vulnerable people. These days, Jim and Debbie enjoy gardening and time with their family, including grandson Grant Alexander, who arrived to daughter Rochelle and son-in-law Ben Walker in 2019. One of her best memories is a family trip to Antarctica and the Galapagos Islands. She also enjoys trips to Italy, and the ultimate trip is relaxing on a catamaran in the British Virgin Islands. Next on her bucket list is Portugal, as soon as the COVID crisis passes. When asked what she would say about her success, she stated, "For time spent at work, you need to work hard, enjoy it, and commit to a work-life balance." She often encourages her staff not to miss life events. Quote, "You don't get a do-over on some things." Most people would agree that if you find something you're passionate about, it's never work. Debbie Petrine took to heart small-town values and mentors to show the region that she came to get a job done and convert others into seeing value in the culture of success. And now she is the latest laureate in the Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia Business Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah Petrine.
I just have to say, wow, how did that little Glenford kid end up here? And I was thinking that already, and then I heard Joshua, and now I really wonder how I got here. So, Joshua, I wanted to hire you, but then as I listened, I said, no, I need to invest in his company. So, if you have a business card, I'll take it with me tonight. How about that? So, But no, seriously, I mean, when I used to love to watch football games with my cousins and my brother and all that. And as about 4 or 5 years old, my only goal in life was to be a majorette. I was planning the long game, I think, because I wanted to do it in high school. And so I didn't have a chance to take lessons and all that, but I asked for a baton for Christmas. And my parents got me this baton, and I practiced for hours, endlessly, in front of the storm door. It has the glass in it that you can see. And anyway, I think that was my long-range plan for life. And luckily, I think I moved on from that afterwards. So, so here we are. First, I'd like to congratulate you, Kevin, and just say how I'm very proud to be here with you tonight. It's incredible what you've done, and I know your entire family is just really proud of you, and so it's just a real honor to share this with you. I'd also like to thank Katherin and everybody involved with Junior Achievement. It's just such an amazing group, and the inspiring young people and helping them succeed is so important, and it's fun. It's fun to see it come together, and it also takes a lot of planning and a lot of hard work. So I appreciate all that you all do every day. I'd also like to mention the past recipients. What an honor it is to be part of that esteemed group. And John, I heard you last year speak, and that was it was a little different, but this is very nice. But it was just lots and lots of fun. So I just want to thank everybody for that. And before I talk too much about the business, I would like to just take a minute. I mean, this has been a really difficult year for everybody. And I would like to just thank everyone, all the essential workers that, kept the grocery stores open, kept the food, they grew it, they processed it, they got it to us in the trucks. The sanitation workers, all the folks that made all that happen that were really unsung heroes. I mean, behind the scenes, and kept us all going, and especially, the frontline healthcare workers who continue to keep us all healthy and safe today, and all the first responders. So I just wanted to take a moment for that and to thank everybody that put all the planning into making this happen tonight. So, there are so many people, and I agree with Kevin's comments, so many of them, hard work and having people support you and encourage you, and even sometimes if you think if the idea may be a little out there, but if you believe it, you can make it happen. 9 times out of 10, one way or another, you can make it happen. And so there have been so many people that, receiving this award forced me in a time of dealing with COVID 24/7 and a very sick parent. It made me take time to think back over my life and think about all the people that helped me to be here today. And so I'm going to start a little bit with just the personal, that personal part of that. So, every now and then you'll hear it's kind of juicy. I sometimes like to listen. I don't know why, but probably shouldn't. But to some of those juicy news stories about, really wealthy people and big celebrities who are in a battle over a prenup agreement. And and so it always reminds me that my husband, Jim, loves to tell the story about how when we got married, he didn't want a prenup. We didn't sign a prenup because he had less than $1,000 net worth at the time, and he had learned that I was in debt, quite a bit in debt, for paying off college loans. I was still paying them off, even though I'd been working about probably 5-6 years by then. I was still paying them off. So together, we had a negative net worth. So he really has fun telling that story. And but so here we are today. And I will say though that I have really been blessed my entire life with very supportive, loving family, and which is always so important. My parents, my brother, then my husband and my children, and so many friends and folks that I've worked with along the way. Nobody does it on their own, as Kevin said. Nobody does it on their own. So my husband, Jim, who is with me here tonight, he went out on his own first. He went out and started a business early on 84, building homes and doing developments on Smith Mountain Lake. So many years later, when I decided and I started thinking about going out on my own, he not only supported me, he encouraged me to do that. And that made the difference, having him encourage me to do that. So for that and many other things, I want to thank him tonight. I'd also like to say that being a mom, I absolutely love being a mom, and now a grandmother is just the best. But, but you know, being a working mom is very challenging at times, and my business can be very challenging many times, much of the time, but certainly at times. And you know, when the kids were growing up, I really wanted to be involved. I wanted to be involved in the school activities. I wanted to know their friends and have them to the house and you know, go to all their school events. And so that's really easier said than done. I mean, we all know that. But thank goodness I was blessed with high energy, and I did everything I could to make it and do as many of those things as possible. And that's something that in fact, I miss it. And I miss some of that now. You don't think you will when you're going through it, but you do. So I am very happy and proud tonight to have with me my daughter, Rochelle, her husband, Ben, our son, James, who lives in New York City and is here for this. Rochelle, Ben, and that sweet little guy, my grandson, Grant, they live on Benton Mountain, and which they moved to the area just in the last year. So, you know, that's really a blessing to me. And for those of young people that I talk to, and I know we want to offer them advice, and you know, balancing home work life is tough. It's tough whether you're a working mom or a working dad. I mean, who wants to be involved? And if you find yourself in that situation, or you're thinking about, you know, starting a family and how you're going to do all this, you know, I do offer some advice to I try to follow it myself, and I offer it to people that I work with and people that work for me. And that is that there are certain things in life that we just do not get to do over, ever. So do whatever you can to make it to those events. And if you are fortunate enough to be the employer, help your employees do that. I mean, let them know it's okay. You know, we work hard. We work hard, and we don't usually work 8 to 5. And you know, let's help each other out. And I try to do that as often as I can, and certainly foster that. The other thing I would say, and this is directed more to the working moms, because we can be really critical of ourselves. I think we're kind of hypercritical, especially when it comes to parenting, and never feel like we're doing enough when we're working and all that. Give yourself a little break. If you were there and you're doing, your children know that. And if you're lucky like I was, when they're older, they sometimes tell you that. So, you know, so don't be so hard on yourself. I will say that, you know, throughout my entire career, I'm in a people business, caring for people business, a very heavily regulated caring for people business. And it's, you know, I have been so fortunate to work with so many amazing people that are not only talented at what they do, they're empathetic, they give selflessly of themselves to take care of people. And I have learned so much from all those folks, literally from the time I was a teenager. I started working in the first facility when I was 19. It wasn't what I dreamed to do, that I was going to be doing that. And I fell in love with it, absolutely fell in love with it. And I can tell you that without all those people that I learned so much from, who taught me so much and helped me and supported me, because if you go through some battles together, you really know people. And I'm just so blessed to still have quite a few folks with me that I knew and worked with even way back in that first company. So this year is the 20th anniversary of this company, of CCR. And as I said, I still have folks that I worked with back in the first company that I worked with, some of whom taught me when I went through the training program. And so, you can't get much better than that when you have those folks with you. Finally, and this group of people, this year, well, any year, but certainly this year, we serve the most vulnerable people among us. And we have been on the front lines since COVID entered the state of Virginia. It's been a year and 3 weeks, I think, that we had our first case. Who's counting, right? And I just can't tell you how dedicated my entire company, the folks have been, what an amazing job they've done. They really are unsung heroes. You don't hear a lot about it on the news unless there's something that goes wrong or there's a big number to report. But I can tell you that the effort and just how dedicated they've been. And so for all of them, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And finally, I'll say that I have that group of people that I'm so blessed to have as part of CCR includes my business partners who took a real leap of faith when we started this. It takes a lot of capital to start a company like this, and it takes a lot of signing on to debt and worrying about if you can pay that debt when you run into a bump in the road. All those things that go into that. And my partners who came in with me, we're all still together, and I just couldn't have asked for a better group. My senior management team at the home office, all of my entire home office staff that back up and offer support to the facilities, the facility management team, and especially those frontline caregivers. I'm just so proud of them and wouldn't have traded any of this for anything in the world. And as crazy as it might sound, it has been nice in some ways to be a little part of the solution or solving the COVID issue. And I'm just very grateful to all of them. And I am so humbled and so honored to join the esteemed group that I'm joining tonight, and to do it in my hometown that I love and these beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. I just can't thank all of you enough. Thank you.
Well, that was a great speech, and congratulations, Deborah. Thank you. Well, how about one more round of applause for Deborah, please? The special award is unique. It is one of a kind, and it's designed by a Virginia glass artist named Daniel Sconia, and he has designed most of them over the past few years. So you have a unique piece of art right there. And let me just say that that your life has been shaped by many goals that you established. You mentioned the meager beginning in Glenver. I love the John Deere reference. How many people say they could? If I got a job at a John Deere dealer, I'd never leave. My dad's got 5 antique John Deere tractors in the barn up in central New York, and so I'm just envious of that part, and then all the rest of the success, that's icing on the cake, right? But your attention to detail has been your hallmark. I really enjoyed going through and reading your bio and putting together the vignettes and learning all the details about your life, and we are all favorably impressed, as they say. So congratulations. Business Hall of Fame history has been made once again this evening, again with the induction of our now 62nd laureate, And now to close out this 30th anniversary salute, we are certain that businesses will evolve, just as we witnessed over the past year, and it's up to all of us to encourage every child to aspire to be Business Hall of Fame laureates of the future. Joshua, are you listening? I know you'll be up here, and probably at a young age. So once again, I want to extend our congratulations to the Petrine and to the Bloomfield families, and I'm so glad that the families could accompany our honorees here tonight. I know it means a lot to both of you, so thank you again, folks. And once again, I want to thank our many sponsors, our guests, and musicians for joining us here this evening. Again, we are virtual this year. We normally at the Hotel Roanoke with a cast of thousands, and this year it'll present a little bit differently. So, but I understand, of course, this is also a fundraiser, so we can keep junior achievement going. And I understand that things are actually going pretty well, so let's just keep the momentum rolling and make sure that junior achievement is here for another 30 years of honorees and vignettes. So to our many sponsors, guests, and everybody, thank you very much. And I've been asked to ask you to stay where you are for a special presentation, and that'll be followed by the pull of the lucky tickets to receive one of 2 baskets or a pair of Mikimoto pearl stud earrings from Fink. So please stay where you are for a special presentation. Thank you.
John, before you get too comfortable, would you mind coming and joining me up here? Since the beginning of the Business Hall of Fame, 30 years ago, John Carlin has been our voice. He's been with us as we've inducted 62 laureates and recognized non-entrepreneurs. He is the voice and the personality of the biggest night in business. In those 30 years, John has also served junior achievement in many ways. He's been on the board. He is an entrepreneur in the community with your own agency and a second business, right, about your personal passion.
Aquariums.
Aquariums, yes.
Please enjoy the koi pond as you exit tonight in the aquariums in the lobby. They are maintained by Carlin Aquariums.
Yes.
That's the truth.
And in true junior achievement tradition, you've passed along that entrepreneurial spirit to your children who have a podcast and a new coffee company, if I understand correctly.
Coffee company,
yes.
And a successful YouTube channel.
Yes, a YouTube
Yes.
channel.
Right.
And in addition to your many contributions to junior achievement, you have impacted this community. You have given us glimpses of your life, and you've provided hope for many as you've shared your personal health journey. Tonight, in addition to honoring Debbie and Kevin, we'd like to honor you and salute you, John, and thank you for all that you've done in the past 30 years for junior achievement.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. What I said about the aquariums is true. I have more passion than I have business sense, I'm afraid. But ever since I was a kid, seeing a fish swimming, or my grandfather would take me out, we would catch fish in the little brook that ran down in front of through his farm in Massachusetts. And I would put it in an aquarium, and I was fascinated, and that never went away. And now my son Ben actually runs that company. In addition to they've got 2 million viewers for their YouTube channel, and both of my sons make their full-time living from YouTube, and they're doing better than their father, right? But that's okay. They've got that entrepreneurial spirit, and I'm gonna sneak them into lunch with Kevin and see if they can't find a little more entrepreneur, and maybe Debbie, you can invest, and it's all going to be beautiful. It's all going to be beautiful. But really, all I want to say is I have taken so much inspiration every year, present company included, in meeting people who've been so successful, and to applying what I've heard over and over and over, which is the hard work and the life balance and all of that to my personal life. And that has helped me in more ways, I'm sure, than I've helped Junior Achievement. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Wow, Jerel, this has been another exciting night, and I can't wait for the 31st year. Every year, it's been amazing how the honorees that we have selected have been able to depict vision and prosperity. Speaking of prosperity, Jerel, what are some of the things you remember most about managing money?
Managing money, I've learned opening my new business. Never use your money and just waste it on everything. I've learned to try to put my money back into my business to try to better it and use that to make more money.
All right.
So capitalize off of what you've made and try to make it more.
We appreciate that and continue to keep that lesson close at heart, I tell you, as you go forward. So right now, I know everyone's waiting to see what those tickets will result in, and Jerel actually is going to be pulling 2 names first for the basket that you see here. There will be 2 baskets. So Jerel, if you will pull the first name to tell us who gets our first basket tonight. He's mixing them all up.
It says Betsy Feldman.
Oh, good. All right.
And then for the second one, I don't know if this one has a name.
All right. So we have one without a name. So let's try one more pull then to make sure that we have that second basket given away.
Doug McQuaid.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, thanks to those 2. And let's do one more pull, go to the bottom, and that will be for the earrings.
Sharon Lustig.
Okay. Well, again, this is wonderful news to those who have been viewing, and we certainly welcome all of you to join us again another time and certainly take an opportunity to be a volunteer with JA. And thanks to our recent winners, and we certainly admire you, and hopefully we will be able to continue to see each and every one of you again as we continue to deliver our programs throughout the Valley. So again, thank you for your time this evening, and think about being a JA classroom volunteer or a subject matter expert for our youth. Good night, and thanks to all of our sponsors and to John Carlin. And again, congratulations to our winners of the baskets, the earrings, and the honorees.